There's another little element of grammar that is very important even in simple sentences. So that is why we are studying it in the first lesson itself. That is in the first part of the speaking test. That is to do with prepositions. Prepositions are small words, but they are needed to make connections inside a sentence. So, if you go back to this, the sentences we saw earlier, you can see that when you say, I like walking, or I like to walk, what is the difference? I like walking has ing after walk, but when I say I like to walk, then there is to. There's no ing. You can't say I like to walking, but we say I like to walk. Now, to is here a preposition. You know, children, when they first start learning a language, they miss out the prepositions. So they might say, I like walk. So that means that they have missed out one part of the grammar. But as they get more competent in the language, they realize that here they have to speak, this to element has to be there. That is a preposition. But when you look at the next verb, I enjoy walking, I enjoy reading, but we don't say I enjoy to walk. We can't use to with this verb, enjoy. Let's go on to I belong. So we can't say that I belong Canada. No, I belong to Canada. So that to again is needed over here. I work, if we say I work in an office, that means that the word in is being used. And what is in? In is also a preposition. So you understand that to, in, of, these are all very small words, but they are important. So don't miss them out. Similarly, I work in an office, I study in a college, right? So, but if you say I study computers, then you won't say I study in computers. Right? There, in is not necessary. And then if you have something like I listen, then here again we need a preposition. We can't say I listen music. We have to say I listen to music. That is important, that you recognize which verbs will have to before them, which verbs will have in before them or at before them, and which verbs do not need any preposition. That is very important because even when you're speaking a simple sentence, these things are required. So here we are, we revise it. Next to some verbs you have prepositions, but not all. See, I've given the example to you here. I see a picture, I look at a picture. Now, you might think that seeing and looking are the same thing. But no, the grammar treats them differently. In the grammar, you'll see that they are treated differently. So whereas you don't need a preposition with see, I see a picture. Not I see to a picture, I see at a picture. But when we use the verb look, then we need a preposition. We can't have I look a picture, I look at a picture. So the verb will need something or it may not need. This is the nature of every individual word, that either it needs something or it doesn't need something. So you have to see which verbs are the one that where a preposition is needed and which verbs are the one in which a preposition is not needed. Right? Okay. So here we go on then to the sentences that you made. Remember, you were asked to do some sentences. You were asked to finish these sentences and then you were asked to complete these sentences also. Now, if you have done them or you have attempted to do some of them, you might check them now, speak them by repeating them. All right? Repeat them in this way that you use the verbs and prepositions correctly. So try to see where you yourself have made that error, that either after listen you haven't put a preposition, or after like or enjoy you have put a preposition after enjoy. Is that right or not? So just check the sentences and repeat them with the corrections. Okay, so if in some case you need a preposition, repeat the sentence with the preposition. If you have used a preposition and you need to correct that, preposition is not needed, then speak the sentence in the correct way without that preposition. So please repeat these sentences and remember that there are some verbs which are versatile. By versatile, I mean they can go everywhere, do everything. So if you have a verb like study, for instance, you would say, I study computers. So you don't say, I study in computers or I study at computers. But when you use the word, when you're describing something that where you study those computers, then you say, I study at home. So here the verb will have a preposition after it. Study at home, but not when you say, I study computers. So please repeat these sentences that you have done earlier, but repeat them again correctly. So that's part of your practice.